welcome to Lateral Hazard. Today we have Lindsey from Wilson on the show. Can you tell everybody how you got into golf?
Yeah, so the game itself, I grew up playing from about 3 years old. Grew up with family playing it, grew up as a family sport, traveling vacations, and then all the way through up, got into school golf, got into the summer associations, and then went through high school, and then took a break to college. Got a degree in sports marketing and with the minor in public relations at the University of Oklahoma. Post-graduation, I started working with a company called Lateral, and it's a sports management partnership company. I then got on brands and helped with them with their sports partnerships. So part of that was the PGA Tour and the brands partnership with that actual affiliation. Moved into that space. From there, went to more of the talent management side of the golf game, and that's actually what led me to Wilson Sporting Goods in the golf division.
Now, backtracking a bit, when you were at the agency in Texas.
Yes, Dallas, Texas.
You worked with the Spieth Foundation, I believe.
Yes, we did a little bit of both. The talent agency within the Dallas, the Spieth organization, is one of the bigger groups we worked with. JJ Henry was another one. But yeah, all around, more than the foundation, to really talent management goes to player relations, to tournament organizations, to even golf sponsors that are related within the agency itself. We kind of touched on because of our expertise in the sport.
That brought you all the way to the Midwest in Chicago.
It did.
And that was a couple of years ago now?
Yeah, about 2 years ago.
What was the transition like?
Quick. I would say that the relationships are key. I would say in any business, but especially with ours, it's such a small industry that an opportunity popped up based on an agent at Lateral, and I had to think, okay, warm, hot Dallas or something about winter I've heard of in Chicago, and interviewed here in May, and it was beautiful here, so I thought, okay, I can do this, and moved up here in a two-week period, and I've been here ever since.
Most people say that when you're from Texas, you don't leave Texas.
That is the case other than college. I grew up a Sooner, so I did, fortunately, cross the border, but I did go back. But I think it's a good opportunity, and I would encourage people to do that, especially in your younger years when you just want to get experience.
And that brought you to Wilson Golf?
It did.
What can you describe, I guess the best way to put it is, can you describe your day-to-day activities, and then we'll get into your job titles as a whole?
Yeah, it's never the same, I will say that. Overall, I would say as a marketing manager at Wilson, it's deliverables, it's product launches, it's from a start to a finish of a marketing plan. So everything from helping the R&D team with all the naming and packaging, to consumer insights on that area, to planning for our sales organization of how marketing is going to support them before the launch, to working with our media relations to get the word out around the launch, and then executing everything from social, digital, broadcast, and all the initiatives we do during the year with events, and then it full circles again. So,
when we talk to golf companies, Wilson is one of the ones that I would call lean and mean.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to wear a lot of different hats.
Yep.
And that is constantly evolving as media, despite what some of the golf media hasn't done, is evolved. But as the media and the consumables and everything else that goes with it evolve to a different level, how does that change your role? Is it really changing every single day?
I would say so. I think even in the last year, the way that we contact media, the way that we put out press releases, a few years ago it was a template, it's a one-sheeter document of what the product is, some descriptions. Now it's as easy as a 300-word blurb and a picture, because a lot of these writers aren't writing for print as much. They're writing for social media and blogs, and they need quick information, and they don't have time to read a full press release. They need the key points 1, 2, and 3 so that they can get that post up and you have more accurate information.
What has been the biggest challenge? Because you guys, I guess to take a step back before I ask the question, Wilson did something rather unique with a TV show. And for those paying attention, she has no idea what I'm going to ask in any of these. I just said we're going to talk about Lindsey's background. But Wilson did something with a TV show. And the marketing behind that may have been harder than the execution of the show. It had never been done. It was completely unique. It's pitching a reality show, R&D, an actual product and everything else. Oh, and all the while, it is for Golf Channel. It's not just marketing your product because nobody knew about that yet. What were the bigger challenges that you had to deal with from the marketing standpoint?
I think it started with, are we actually going to have a show? Because, before we did even production, it was, we're going to do something that no one else has done by opening up, an idea collection kind of arena for anyone in the golf industry, not golf industry, to send their ideas for, our next best driver. We had no benchmark of what we were going to get. So who do I talk to get that word out? Where do I find that guy or girl in their garage making the driver? Or who do I contact for universities? I mean, it was cold calling. It was emailing the heads of R&D universities. It was as grassroots as you can get. And we had, the success we saw with season 1, just the call for entry period, gave us so much momentum going into the marketing that everything else seemed easy. Because if we started out with, not even a roadmap and we got that far, we knew we did have a little marketing consumer insight that we work in golf. We could get through the rest of the steps.
Somehow you decided to do it again.
We did,
and
yeah.
Do you see as the different challenges coming up? Now that people know the show exists and the core golfer was definitely paying attention, what are the bigger challenges going in, maybe past the submission point? Because I don't think submissions will be that big of a deal to getting to the show part.
I think for this, season 2 is important because we really want to get more of a competitive landscape of not just the teams that are participating, but we want to get more engagement. Golf Channel is a great platform of avid golfers that watch the show, and we want more people to follow the game of golf because, as Wilson is a sports competitive brand, we would say, we want to be able to engage people while they're watching. That you may not have to be that every Sunday, tournament watcher. We want to get your attention and interest based on a competitive nature of something that's not been done before. So finding that fine tune of, we have the golfers covered, but who else can we speak to that's, could be comfortable and get excited about the show.
The reality.
Yeah, and, feel that the product at the end of this is not just for those, really good, 10 and below handicappers. They're for anyone who wants to get involved in the game because realistically, the point of the show is to grow the game of golf because we all, anywhere in the industry, are working so hard every day in it that we want this to continue to grow. And there's been, we've had conversations about this that, it's sometimes a negative light on golf right now because it's shrinking. And, living and breathing it, I would disagree with that completely. That, I think that it is growing and people want to play. It's just finding a way that in our real world life and, all of us seeing the trend.
Life is a different life.
It is. It's very connected. And so we want to use this show as a platform to connect to people to maybe get them interested in a sport they wouldn't have considered.
Later on this year, we have an event with you. Staff Broda, you'll be playing for Team Marketing.
I will.
Against Team R&D. We can't give out the information about the products because the guys are going to get it months before it hits stores.
Yes.
What can you tell the people that are paying attention to this about why they should choose marketing over R&D? R&D is designing the products.
Correct. However, marketing has all the insights. And what a lot of people don't understand is that even when we do a product launch, before it actually does the production side, there's a lot of marketing interpretation and the stylization, the shapes, the colors, because we're out there living and breathing of what we hear from feedback. And it's great if an iron works and hits the ball, but the first look we've seen is kind of what people prefer first. They trust the brand that we produce premium equipment and they're going to do what we say it does based on heritage. But I also want something in my bag that's sexy, and that's what marketing does. So we can back up. We know our R&D is best of the best, but marketing, on the other hand, has the expertise, plus we can really give you the sexy side of why we design the clubs the way they are.